Texas at Alabama. It's the game everyone's been waiting for, and I'm going to talk about it here in just one moment. First of all, I'm Brian. I'm not Bobby Durkins, at least not here. If you're brand new to the channel, thanks for joining me. If you're a return viewer, I see you're back for more punishment. Thanks for joining me. Subscribe. It's a great way to support the channel, and it's free. Also, if you want to support the channel on a monthly basis, there is a join button below the video, unless you're on an iPhone. And it's like $3 per month or $5 per month. And super things as well. Let's dive in. So tomorrow night, Texas will go to Alabama. Last year was a 1-point game in Austin. Ewers got hurt. We all remember that. And even with Bryce Young, Alabama struggled. And with Ewers getting hurt, the question is, what if? Of course, if is a big word. 2 letters, big word, totally changes the outcome. This game means different things to each team. For Texas to go in and beat Alabama, I think Alabama hasn't lost to a non-conference opponent in Tuscaloosa in forever. Texas, on the other hand, they just can't get over the hump. They'll bring in another coach. He'll get a solid recruiting class. There'll be a lot of hype early on, but it just can't get over the hump. Alabama, on the other hand, they have an aging coach who is considered by many to be the greatest college football coach of all time. He missed the college football playoff last year. It's been a while since they've done that. In fact, I think that was the first time that they had missed it. In fact, I take it back. That was a few years before that they missed it. But when Saban does not make the college football playoff, and Saban doesn't go to the ACC or SEC championship, guess what happens? Everybody begins to wonder, is this the downfall? It's the same thing going on with my Tigers. Everybody's looking at Clemson going, I think it's over. I agree that it's over. They've given me no reason not to believe that the dynasty that is over. It doesn't mean they're a horrible football team, but they're definitely not at that level. But the thing about Alabama, I look at their recruiting. I look at the players that they've keep. And other than the questionable offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, they still have Nick Saban on the sideline. And until he is old and senile and proven that he's no more, this game is in Alabama. This game has Saban on the sideline. And he's tired of people questioning his, probably privately, his age. Has he lost the mojo? And that's ridiculous to even think. I know he's getting older, but I mean, come on, y'all. On the other hand, Sark wants to beat his old boss, his boss who gave him a second chance at college football. Now, if you take both of these quarterbacks and you put them head to head, and I'm going to tell you, I'm shocked that Milroe got the nod last week. I'm shocked that he got the nod in the offseason. People really wasn't too high on him, but I mean, were they really high on anyone else is the real question. But Ewers, on the other hand, this guy comes in and he has the wide receiving core to give Alabama secondary nightmares. Now, we have a couple of DBs that are questionable for Alabama. Now, I'd done a little research. It looks like Malachi Moore, the safety, is going to play this game. There's a good chance he's going to play this game. So if anybody thinks that Texas is going to come out and just absolutely trash this defense, you've lost your mind. But when you go head-to-head quarterback, Ewers looks much better in this head-to-head. Saban has adapted to the game, and he's made changes over the years that he probably was cussing under his breath, didn't want to make it, but he realized that winning was more important than his way of football, than his brand of football. He realized that his way was not always the winning way, that there may be a different way to win in a certain environment. So he adapted to that, and that's the reason he has so many national championships. With that said, Jalen Milroe does not have to be a Bryce Young. He doesn't have to be a Tua. He doesn't have to be a Mac Jones. He can come into this game, and he can be a McElroy. You know, he can be that guy in this game. He doesn't have to play perfect. Just don't do anything stupid like, I don't know, turn the ball over inside the 5-yard line twice. Now, there's a lot of people who was really, really, really hot on Texas right now. You would have thought that Texas would have went 10-3 last year, 11-2. Texas went 8-5 last year. And I know that they have people who are returning. I get that they have players who have transferred in, like A.D. Mitchell out of Georgia. He has 2 national championship rings, and he went to Texas. I know that they have guys like Xavier Worthy and Jordan Whittington. They have the majority of their offensive line back. I'm not taking away from that. I think this is going to be a close game. Obviously, Arch Manning is sitting on the bench for Texas right now. There's a lot going on in Austin, Texas that is bringing a lot of excitement. But how people are reacting to Texas right now, you would have swore that they would have went 11-2 last year, folks. And I know you could come back and your rebuttal would be, well, Quinn got hurt. Okay, I get it. Quinn did get hurt last year. Okay? Quinn got hurt. I take that. But Card did not play terrible. I mean, a lot of people's almost treating what Hudson Card did as he just totally blew it. You could also come back and say, hey, they barely lost those games. I agree. But you have a team that went 8-5 last year. You have Quinn Ewers, who everybody expects perfection from. I mean, and they do. They do. Quinn Ewers is supposed to be the second coming of whoever. And he's a fantastic quarterback. Justin Milroe, on the other hand, does not have that expectation. And folks, I'm telling you, this is in Tuscaloosa. This is a big deal. There are places that historically it is tough to win in. LSU's one of them. And since Saban has been there, Alabama's definitely one of them. When Miami was so good, you didn't go to Miami and win. When Oklahoma was historical, especially in the 80s, you didn't go there and win. Clemson, until recently, you didn't go to Clemson and win. You would have to go back years. Now, according to the line right now, and I'm getting this from ESPN. And by the way, the game's 7 o'clock tomorrow night, ESPN. Alabama's a 7-point favorite. Everybody and their brother is talking about this game. Everybody and their brother is paying attention to this game. Everybody. There's not one person who is not paying attention to this game. And I looked over FBSschedules.com, and there's really no great games tomorrow. You know, the only interesting game, and it's not even the same realm of possibility with this game, but the only other game that's kind of interesting to me, I want to see how Colorado responds going to play Nebraska. They're going to or Nebraska's going to Colorado tomorrow. It's 12 o'clock on Fox. They've had a very emotional week. Matt Rule just came off, his first game, lost by 3 points. That'll be interesting, but nobody is even considering those games compared to this one. I think that Tommy Rees is going to call the playbook in the sense to where Justin Milroe will be trusted with just enough to get the win. And you have to remember that next week, Alabama's at South Florida. And the week after that, they play Ole Miss. Okay, that could be tough, but they're playing South Florida next week. It's not like that they have this great game that they're looking forward to next week. In fact, this is one of the biggest games of the season. Could be the biggest game of the season for them. I believe Tommy Rees is going to make things calm for Milroe. And if Milroe gets in there and it's not looking too good, don't be shocked if Saban sends somebody else out there. Namely, Tyler Buckner. If anything, just to be mobile. Now, I would tell you, if you start seeing quarterback shuffling in, Texas will be doing a really, really good job. But I honestly think that Buckner would be the second person in. But I see Jalen Milroe. They're going to make him comfortable. They're going to pound the football. This is going to be a fight. But I think that the man on the sidelines who has been running things and winning championships galore, a man who's 194, now 195 and 27 at Alabama, a man who's won so many national championships, it's sickening. I think that 72-year-old man's going to get the final say. I believe they're going to win by the 7-point mark. And this is what I say to Texas. If Texas loses this game by 7 points or less, you still have a lot to play for, and you could still make it to the college football playoff. But if you live or die by just tomorrow's game, I can guarantee you, if you have a spirit that is live or die by tomorrow's game, and a lot of people believe they do, and they probably do for the right reason, but if it's to an unhealthy level, I promise you something. You may win tomorrow, but you will lose a game sometime in this season, and maybe enough to keep you out of the college football playoff, as to where if you were to lose tomorrow, but you had the mindset of we are an excellent football team, we're going to move forward, we're going to play well, we're not basing our entire season off of this game, we're not basing the entire success of Sarkisian's coaching or Quinn Ewers' tenure at Texas on this game. You could lose the game tomorrow night, win out, and end up in the college football playoff. Because that would be a different mindset. Sure, nobody wants to lose a game. Sure, it would be great for Texas if they were to win this ball game. But if Alabama loses the ball game tomorrow night, I guarantee you that Nick Saban would coach even harder if that's possible, and you wouldn't be shocked to see them make the college football playoff. Do you understand what I'm saying here? If the season rides on this game alone for Texas, even if they win it and their emotions are too high, they'll lose a game, maybe even two, after this because of the misplacement of priority and maybe a poor mindset. I call Alabama to win this game by 7. somewhere in the 24 to 17 range, 28, 21, somewhere in there. And they still have they still have a lot to work on. But Tuscaloosa, Saban, he still recruits out the wazoo, and I believe that that's going to be enough to take care of the Crimson Tide. Well, folks, listen, if you're new here, thank you for joining me. If you're a return guest, thanks for coming back. Subscribe. That's the easiest way that you can support the channel. Is subscribe. It's free. So, also, if you want to support the channel on a monthly basis, unless you're on iPhone, there's a join button below the video. And it's either $3 or $5 per month. There's 2 different tiers there, or you can offer a super thanks here for a one-time support. So thank you so much for joining me. I will catch you later. And as always, go Tigers.